going on, you vaccidental vaginal veterans? Welcome to Grunt Speak.
Live! It really is live.
From the lair.
Yeah, from the lair.
502 lives saved, and happy mother fornicating New Year, everybody.
Yep. And there might be a 503rd.
There might be.
There might be, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I got to make a decision if it qualifies or not.
It's a judgment call.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's got you on the fence?
He didn't say specifically. He said I helped him greatly. But
Okay.
he didn't go that one extra. He kept the gun out of my mouth.
Yeah, we don't do fractions.
No. And listen, I am astonished. I've had 502 men come forward in the past 11 years to tell me this because it's a very private thing that men don't want to talk because it leads back to weakness. Like men have a fear of being weak or showing the world any weakness whatsoever. I do the same thing. I got it. All right? But it almost fucking got me. And the only thing that saved me is a former commander of mine took the bullet that was meant for me. And I've been charging forward against this shit ever since.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, and I had a thought, and it went away. Like, pooh. I've been sleeping for shit the last few days, so forgive me. And there's been so much crap. Like, I swear I have lost count of how many people have been talking about this. What's his name?
Yeah.
Damar Hamlin. Within 20 minutes of this happening last night, my inbox was blowing up with shit.
Yeah, mine too. Now, first of all, I just want to say this. I am extremely upset that an individual who is 24 years old had a heart attack on the field. Okay?
Yeah.
I saw the hit. It did not look like anything over the top.
Has anybody not seen the hit? If you haven't seen the hit, we can show you right now.
Let's see it. All right.
That looks pretty typical. Like, he was the one initiating the tackle, so he wasn't the one taking the hit. And then, boom.
Yeah, there we go.
There it is. And naturally, the lamestream media won't admit that this is likely a vaccident.
Yes. Now, let's just go back in time, and I'm going to ask some questions to the guys who are roughly around my age who've been watching football probably since they were 12 years old, like 40 years worth of experience. How many times have you actually heard or seen this happen before 2020? Yeah. It did happen, but it was exceedingly rare, like one every 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, you want to know how long it's been since there was a situation like this that happened in the NFL? 52 years.
52 years, yeah?
Yeah.
No, but they've had guys get killed from, get a bad hit, break a neck. Mm-hmm. I mean, that does happen. But when you look at those hits, it looks like two freight trains come together and then things fly off. It's bad. Mm-hmm. That hit was as tame as it gets.
It really was, and because he was the one giving the hit, like, oh, it's a vicious hit.
No, it wasn't.
I watched it. You and I watched the same thing, right?
Yeah.
You got to love it when the lamestream media thinks that they can edit the reality that you and I are both seeing in real time.
Now, I'm not going to tell anyone I'm a football expert. I'm not. I played 4 years of high school football. I was woefully outweighed. Physics is a bitch, and I royally sucked. But I understand how football works, American football. I know spearing, face masking, all kinds of unsportsmanlike, unsavory shit because it was done to me on the field.
I'm sure, yeah.
So, when I tell you that hit is exceedingly tame, it's exactly what I'm telling you.
Oh, yeah. But I'm sure that we're going to get corrected by people who think they're in the know.
That's fine.
Of course, this was a heart attack triggered by climate change, right?
Or marijuana.
Mary Jane, do you want to? Yeah.
Yeah, you figure with the amount of people who have been just toking their asses off since they were like 10 years old, since the 60s, if it was really bad for your heart, we would fucking know it by now.
You would think, yeah.
Okay, I'm just saying. I'm not trying to get us a strike, so
That's why I'm being very specific in how I'm speaking about
Correct.
certain things. Like, for instance, I could put this up on the screen and just tell you to make your own assessments. That
Correct.
the NFL League wanted a certain poke mandate, as opposed to, like a man play date or, or like a date with a woman or biological female, if you prefer. As players, poke rate hits 93%. And this was last August.
That player, he's probably never going to play again.
Oh, no.
And he needs to get a lawyer and sue the NFL for this mandatory horse shit they put him through.
Yep. And that really, I mean, when you think about it, this is the perfect, and Jeffrey Paul, props to him for pointing this out to me. This is the perfect distraction for the fact that we have a $1.7 trillion omnibus bill, chock-a-block full of gun control aimed at veterans.
Correct. I've seen that. And
wow, we're going to get into that later.
Yeah. It's a bunch of crap. And
we're doing this because the veteran suicide rate is so high. We're just looking out for you. It couldn't have anything to do with the 6 million man-hours of wokeness training that's turning our military into the joke of the fucking cosmic universe. Mm-hmm. Couldn't have anything to do with the fact that if that same army were to be turned against us, the people who actually have been through some shit and passed the fitness standards back when they actually meant something, might have a pretty easy time defending the country. Unless you disarm them. Of course, that's just my opinion.
Yeah,
I could be wrong.
We'll see what happens. We'll see.
Yeah, either way you look at it, this is just
the red flag laws were just stricken down by the Supreme Court, so that's on our side.
Oh, okay. So part of this omnibus bill might get kind of swept back a little bit.
It'll be dead on arrival.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
The only thing our government seems to be able to do well is fuck things up and spend our money.
Correct.
And if they can't spend our money, they'll gladly just concoct it by printing more.
Yep. Absolutely correct.
Because that always works.
It's not going to end well.
Yeah, but inflation was the fault of the evil drumfler, right?
I'm hoping that it happens soon so I can recover and do something else. Because if it waits till I'm 70, I'm fucking dead.
Oh, man. But remember, you're not allowed to ask too many questions, because if you do, you might be part of this mega thread of all the hate that the media and the elites spewed about the people who will not succumb to vaccidents.
Yep.
So, no shirt, no shoes, no shot, no entry. Let's see. Victoria AMA says deniers of EIU and anti-pokers should opt out of public health system and let nature run its course. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is the stuff they want amnesty for, by the way. Unpoked hospital patients in Illinois should pay for their own care, Democrat proposes. Oh, so you're totally cool with taking everybody else's money except for when it doesn't benefit your big pharma buddies. Got it.
Yep.
Paris Hospital's chief sparks debate on whether unpoked patients should pay for treatment. And it just goes on and on. Public outrage over the unpoked is driving a crisis in bioethics. Have you ever even heard that before?
I know. I have no idea what they're talking about.
You know
if
what?
they had any ethics, they wouldn't be splicing shit together to make it more deadly.
I was just going to say, I think it's hysterically funny that the people trying to lecture us on bioethics are the ones who created the bioweapon.
Yep.
Maybe it's just me. What the holy shit? But we want amnesty now. You said some things, I said some things. No. You said some things.
That's right.
You wanted people to not be able to go out in public, to keep a job, to care for their families, to be with their loved ones on their deathbed. You wanted all that shit, and we just wanted a choice.
That's right.
It.
Now, all right. I've had to live through the whole anthrax craziness 2 times. And there's all kinds of effects that are hitting us veterans now that we're older and on our way out because of said anthrax protection crap.
Yeah.
So when I heard they rushed this thing through, I did some research on the mRNA, and if you look at the old studies, it is absolutely devastating.
Oh,
and I'm like, I will not participate.
Yeah.
I'm done.
And I love how the guy who invented the technology is, called a medical misinformation expert.
Yes. They're like, wait a minute.
What would he know, right?
I'm the guy who invented this shit.
This is what it is. Oh, that's not what it is. Well, I'm the one who invented it. I know what it is. Oh, but that's not what it is anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's typically how the left defends their argument, because they change definitions.
Oh, yeah.
To
gaslighting. If they can't call you names, the ones who like to pretend that they're intelligent are the ones who will just be like, well, I can tell that you're getting emotional, so I'm going to end this discussion. You're talking to me in a condescending way. You're mansplaining.
Listen, I've actually had to deal with a couple officers who pulled that shit right before I retired.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And I had one first lieutenant tell me that shit in the hallway. I'm like, Roger that, ma'am. And then after that, I refused to speak to her.
Yep.
Because she wasn't in my direct chain of command. I'd literally be like, I'm like, ma'am, stay out of my office. If you have something to say it from the hallway. No? Okay. I have nothing to say to you. And like, well, you're being disrespectful. No, ma'am, I'm not. I have nothing to say to you. I have work to do. Should we take this up with the commander? Or the battalion commander?
Yeah.
Division commander, brigade, whatever. It will not look good for you. So,
yeah, I love it.
They just say that to me one time. It's done.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay. I will never ever assist that person, in any way, shape, or form.
Why would
Fuck them. I'm not. I'm just not doing it.
Fuck 'em. Oh yeah. By the way, a new video dropping tomorrow in regards to the yet another round of changes to YouTube's TOS, especially regarding the profanity.
Yep.
It'll get posted for supporters tonight after the stream, so you guys can look forward to that. It was supposed to be another video entirely. Next thing we know, we had ranted about it for like 14 minutes. Hey, we should probably just...
Yeah, and if you guys actually saw the video I dropped to the senator, could you let us know what you think in the comments? I didn't really want that one released on YouTube, but things happen. It is.
They approved it, and I was like, I guess we'll just let it run. Color me shocked. You want to know why they approved it? Because the dude that you were ripping in half is a Republican.
Yeah, now listen.
That's why they approved it.
This is ridiculous. If it is wrong and ridiculous, it's ridiculous, and I'm going to tear in your ass.
You're damn right.
And it doesn't matter if you're left, right, center. I don't fucking care if you're keeping score for God. You do fucking ridiculous shit, I'm going to give you the knife hand and dress you down like the first sergeant that I used to be.
You're damn right. And no one is safe. We bash on each other on this show all the time.
I got to stop swearing. I got.
By the way, how's that gut doing? It looks like it's kind of folding up. It's like trying to meet the moobaloobs.
The gut. No, I'm still 194.
Yeah. The portly puncher. Yeah.
Listen, as you get older, you're gonna get.
It happens.
I mean, it's just is what it is. And
so.
Listen, I'm not married. I don't eat like 3 big meals a day. I'm lucky to get my calories that I need in a day.
Yeah.
Because one, I don't care, and two, I'm lazy. And
yeah, and the Mary Jane Do You Wanna that you take to sleep is just for sleep. Although it wouldn't surprise me at all if Evil Pop woke up in the middle of the night going, "I'm hungry. I don't know why." Well, off to 7-Eleven.
Well, let's see, but no. He does do that, but I'm not taking the meds. So I'm like, no, we're not doing that.
You get back in the box under the stairs, you bastard.
Yeah, we got to do a comedy skit on that.
Yeah, we do. Why? You know why? Because no one is safe.
No.
And one of the most important things about the internet era is that when shit like this happens, like the football player, everything going on, and they're trying to gaslight the entire country and trying to convince you that you need to forgive them for all the evil shit they did. You've said this 100 times. You can't hide the numbers.
You can't hide the numbers.
Well, here we go.
Well,
Rasmussen poll, nearly half of Americans now believe that dying suddenly is caused by the poke. Mm-hmm. And a third of Democrats now think they know someone that it killed. So it's happening. People are, whether or not they're choosing to wake up is irrelevant. Some people can look at stuff like this and then with some sort of mental disconnect that I can't understand.
It's cognitive disconnect.
Go right back to sleep.
And the reason, especially the weak sheeple and the left does this.
Oh, yeah.
Is they support all this crazy stuff. And then everyone who is against it from the beginning is a conspiracy theorist.
Mm-hmm.
And then it turns out to be true. And they don't want to actually change their thinking, so they stay in cognitive dissonance.
Yep.
They never pull out of it. Those people are lost.
They are lost.
If you have people like that in your life, just cut them away.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully they pull the reserve. If not, they're a red splatter on the ground somewhere, but it's not your problem.
Yeah. And just think about it, that the people who refuse to wake up are the ones whose beliefs contradict each other constantly.
Correct.
And when they try to explain themselves, they sound insane because it all comes from an emotional point of view. And you can't rationalize emotions. They're knee-jerk.
That's right.
And when you try to rationalize them, you sound like a fucking nutball.
Yeah. Listen, emotions can change on a dime.
Yep.
Reality, facts, logic, and reason doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you have alternate facts that prove the opposite.
Yeah, and the reason why we wanted to dive into this and relating it back to the title of the stream has to do with the fact that, I mean, obviously you're a veteran.
I got some stories.
And you have had to deal with the VA and the VA in cahoots with the medical apparatus, which totally has your best interests at heart, unless you refuse to subject yourself to the possibility of having one of these climate change-induced heart attacks, obviously.
Yes.
And we have a guy who's going to come on the stream here in a few minutes, and he wants to talk to us and tell us his story. And you can tell by looking at this dude, he is fresh out the gate of hell. And he sent me some pictures of needle marks from botched IVs up and down his arm, and it is, yeah.
I mean, on the grand scheme of things, fucking up an IV, it's annoying. But in the grand scheme of things, it's not like going to severely impact your health.
No. But some of the other shit he went through,
yeah.
Absolutely. So if there are any other veterans out there who have dealt with something that's similar to, I don't know, let's say the EIU bribery that was going on when this first came out in early 2020, and to my understanding, because the emergency order for the Kung flu still hasn't passed, this still stands, where, you had hospitals literally falsifying records to say that people died from as opposed to died with.
Yep.
And they got a special double bonus on top of that if they gave them a certain medication that has a 50% mortality rate for people who take it.
Yep.
If you have been in that kind of a situation and you're a veteran and the Veteran Affairs Office turned its back on you, we want to hear about it.
Correct.
Shoot us an email. There's a link tree in the description. You can email us directly or put it in the super chats. We want to know.
Yep. Yeah, let us know, man.
First things first, though, we do have a few super chats here on YouTube and 3 $50 super chats back-to-back from Rusty Rivers as opposed to Rusty Trombone.
That's a bad one.
We're not worthy! We're not worthy!
Michael, John G, Revan, Derp, Billy, and all my other brothers. Success Pool Endeavors, Pulse Kebab, Singletown, and John G, 56-year-old MGTOW. He's shouting them all out. Thank you, Rusty Rivers. Shark Dentures, May 2023, buck the trend of the awful 2020s. Here's hoping.
Yeah.
T. Stoney, Happy New Year, guys. Keep on serving pop. Might send you my paranormal stories.
Oh, yeah, send them. Send them.
Yeah, keep on.
I love those.
Our catalog of paranormal videos has
growing.
got to be in double digits at this point.
It's growing.
Yes.
And I have like 2 more I've outlined I can film probably this week.
Yes. Do it. The love, especially Lauren, Lauren loves those particular videos.
No problem.
Jaffo on the Bound. The military spent a lot of time training us combat engineers to be a squirrely bunch without a firearm, allegedly. Make sure your mind and body is ready.
Correct.
And Obseth and friends. Pop, you referenced a false EPAR against a sailor years ago. That was me.
Whoa.
She's going to court for probation violation right now.
All right.
Yeah. That's outstanding. And Successful Endeavors here sent a tweet from, it looks like, Jordan Peterson. Let me see. Dr. Jordan Peterson lashes out at Canada's commissars after board threatens his medical license. Well, Canada is basically China 2.0 at
That's
this
right.
point.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, Canada. Look, I know I have people watching in Canada. I am sorry,
Skid!
but your country is rapidly becoming a failed state, just like America. In fact, I think you're a little bit ahead of us.
I would tend to agree, yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's, yeah, it's definitely not looking good up there, that's for sure. It calls to mind that old joke, if kingdoms are ran by kings, what are countries run by? Well, take a look at America's hat. Well, actually, take a look at America, too.
Oh, they're run by cucks.
Or can't understand normal thinkers, as the
Yes,
case would
yeah,
be.
there you go.
But it is time to bring in our special guest for the show. He's been watching us for years. He's a good dude. I'm just waiting for him to unmute his mic so we can bring him on in.
You there?
I think he is.
Oh, I'm here.
All right. I want to welcome Dave to the show. How you doing, Dave?
I'm hanging in there, buddy. I'll tell you what, it's been rough.
Yeah. You've already told me kind of a synopsis of this story. I gave Pop the cliff notes of the cliff notes.
It was bad.
But no one here knows your story and what it is you've been through recently. So I'm just going to turn the floor over to you. And everybody, pour yourself something. Probably going to need it.
Yeah.
You know it.
All right.
Well, anyways, to go ahead and keep on my liver transplant, be put on the list, I had to go down to Wexler and talk to their doctors after I just had a mesh implant surgery. And they failed to tell me I was going to be doing any testing that day or anything like that. So I didn't think much of it. I drank 4 of those 12-ounce bottles of Powerade. And, well, they did testings on labs. And they called me later that night. I was sitting down to dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And they asked me how I was feeling. I was like, well, feeling fine, okay. There's nothing wrong about to eat dinner, watch the TV. Sure enough, they asked me if there's any way I get to a hospital now. I wouldn't advise driving yourself. Can you call a squad? I'm like, what's going on? It's like, well, your potassium levels are through the roof, and you're about to have a heart attack and die. So,
Well, at least they called you.
yeah, so it appeared like from a calm mood to my heart jumping out my throat now. I'm just trying to get to the hospital as fast as I can. And as soon as I get in there, that's when the nightmare starts even worse.
Uh-huh.
Well, they go ahead and they admit me in there. They put all kinds of monitors on me. They put all kinds of, started inducing fluids through IVs.
Mm-hmm.
And they were just doing this just to keep testing my blood every hour to every hour and a half for 4 days straight. So let's see, 3 vials of blood every hour and a half. That's going to take a lot out of you.
Yeah.
So they ended up giving me a blood transfusion. Well,
Oh, my God.
I was like,
It gets better.
how accurate is that testing going to be? Because now I got someone else's blood in me.
Uh-huh. Wow.
And they still
So
kept taking your blood,
it's-
right?
Yeah, they're still taking it around the clock, 24/7. Same thing with fluids, kept pumping them into me.
Wow. Okay.
And of course, that blood transfusion costs money.
Yep.
And where does that
Absolutely.
money come from? The VA.
VA.
Yeah. All right. Continue on, man. I mean, this is getting
Oh.
kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so after not really getting any treatment, they're just monitoring me. I'm sitting here complaining to them. It's like, hey, I have to go in every week for ultrasound guided paraphonesis to drain the fluids out of my abdominal cavity. Well, they totally ignore that treatment and just let me keep filling up with fluids. And the next thing you know, my incision from my surgery, it burst open. And I kept trying to tell them, hey, if you guys don't get me down there soon, it's going to burst. And sure enough, it did. And for the last 2 days, I laid in the hospital just in my own fluids, just leaking out like
Oh, my
a
God.
busted
do you
water
have
balloon.
an attorney? You're going to have to sue these motherfuckers.
Yeah, well, no, I was being seen by 4 different doctors at the time. 3 of them are residents, and there was a main one ahead of them that I'd never met in my life. All she's doing is sitting at her office reading, paperwork and crunching numbers, and not even bother to go down and check on the patient, not even do an examination.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't meet her until I was literally threatening to rip everything out of my arms, go find her office, kick the door in, and make sure I have a nice little chit chat.
Yep. I got you.
Well, none of these doctors, they were from America, so barely understood anything half of them were saying anyways. And then
here, I'm going to interrupt you for a second. I'm going to interject. The Army doctors, the military doctors, and the VA doctors are C+, B- doctors. The real good ones, they're in private practice making the big bucks. So, in your situation, you got the 76% answer. You didn't get the 90% or the 95% answer, which you get in a private hospital when it's on your dime.
Yep.
So I'm just saying, I'm just putting, all right, continue on. I'm sorry for breaking up your flow.
Okay, so with it, I told her, if she ain't down here in 30 minutes, I'm gone. Sure enough, she brings herself down there, and next thing you know, walks in with a fully dressed Muslim hijab and everything else. I'm like, that put me in a panic attack because I'm like,
nope.
All the nope.
Oh, yeah.
Nope.
Listen, at Walter Reed, I literally had 2 buddies that were living in the same room as I was. We'd walk around during the day, and I remember we're at this ATM, and the people in front of me were speaking Arabic, and I was like literally on the verge of just attacking. And they had to grab me and pull me back. I was like, I have a hard time with that.
I know I have a really hard time with trusting anything Muslim too, because, after spending a while of them trying to literally kill you every possible way for a year straight,
Yep.
It's kind of a natural reaction.
It's a valid concern.
And it never goes away. You're going to have that probably for in your next lifetime when you show up.
If you go back to the spawn point to be re-entered.
Yeah, you're going to go back to the spawn point, and they're going to be like, you're good. Go back.
It just amazes me, man, and it makes you wonder, especially because, this sort of treatment, where you essentially feel like you are sauce for the goose, where they're basically just keeping you in the hospital to make money off of you. Like every time
that's
they
pretty
poke
much
you,
what they're doing.
Cha-ching! Oh, we need a blood transfusion. Cha-ching! Cha-ching! Like,
all right, yeah.
that came to the civilian sector almost 3 years ago now.
Yeah.
And most people still don't even know about it. So it makes you wonder how long shit like this has been going on in VA medical centers.
Oh, yeah. I'll go into some information. Finish your story, bro. I want to hear this.
Oh, so anyways, I finally argue with him enough. It's like, no, there's no actual reason for me to be in here, because I tried to explain to you that they didn't even ask me what I ate or drank that day or nothing. You guys aren't really helping me. I'm sitting in my own fluids, for God's sakes. And the poor nurse that was trying to help me, she could only do so much. I felt so sorry for the nurse, but
I got you. But, so from what you're explaining to me, it sounds like you're suffering from cirrhosis of the liver. Is that correct?
Exactly.
Okay. Now, one of the main reasons... Now, first of all, I'm not a doctor, okay? So this is just research that I've done.
Dr. Pop.
But the reason your potassium shot so high is I am betting that there are portions of your kidneys that are damaged that are not filtering the potassium out the way they should. And if I were you, I would try to get an appointment with a kidney doctor, go through those tests, and find out exactly what's going on. Because 4 Gatorades shouldn't give you a near fatal dose of potassium, for God's sake.
No.
I mean, the average
they were
American,
body armors.
Well, the average American gets 1/3 of the potassium they need when they eat all the processed food and bullshit.
Yeah.
I myself take 1,000 to 1,500 milligrams of potassium on the regular every day. I don't take it all at once, but 2 here, 3 here, just to make up the deficit. And I take it with some magnesium.
Yeah, I do the same.
Yeah.
magnesium, potassium supplement.
All
I
of that
eat
shit is important. And
like
your
one after every
kidneys,
meal.
if your kidneys were 100%, you wouldn't have a problem like this. So something's going on, and that maybe it's misdiagnosed. I don't know. But if they look at if they do a blood draw and they look at your creatinine and it looks fine, and like, oh, your kidneys are fine, you just like, eat a dick. No, in fact, eat all the dicks. I need to see a kidney doctor because of these symptoms.
I loved, just for the people who didn't watch Razor Fist last video, he had a great sign off on that one. And he was telling, he's like, these guys can eat a 6-course meal of my dick, 6.5 if it isn't cold. I lost it. I was almost in tears.
Yeah. Wow. All right. So what else is going on with you, bro?
That's how I would sign off on your letter to the doctors who fucked you up like this, brother.
Yep.
Just saying.
Absolutely. Well, with every hour, an hour and a half of them having to take labs from me while I was there, I felt like I was just going completely insane because sleep deprivation, you never really got sleep in. I was just starting to become zombified, and I'm like, something's got to give.
Yep. Yeah. I've every hour and a half, they're waking you up.
Oh yeah.
I just can't believe
24/7.
they took so much blood. They had to give you a blood transfusion, and then they kept testing.
Yeah. How much sense does that make?
It makes
No.
sense.
You listen. You need to get an attorney and start suing for malpractice because that is just insane.
Yeah. That's like, I think there's something wrong with your arm. Here, let me cut it off and beat you with it. Well, there's your problem.
Yeah. And I gave you that list of supplements that I would like to see you start taking on the regular. Because I can guarantee you, if there is a chance, if you have 20% of your liver still in existence, and you quit drinking, and you take the sugar out of your diet, and get real religious, you might be able to pull yourself out of this and buy yourself another 5 or 10 years before you have to go into the knife.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, I know this isn't the big C word, the cancer, but
No.
We know somebody who's basically smarter than anybody. And if Goat Belly doesn't mind me giving you his contact info, I'll gladly put you two together because that mother fornicator beat the big C word with a simple diet.
Bone cancer.
Wow.
Yeah.
And he didn't do any of the radiation, any of the bullshit. He did it naturally at home and fucking beat it.
Yep, he did.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So perhaps something like that or a variation on it could, possibly help your liver.
And here's another thing that could help your liver, and it's going to sound counterproductive, but do some 2 and 3 day fasts where all you have is water and maybe a bouillon cube or 2 a day, and eat nothing else. All right?
Right.
Because your body goes into a thing called apoptosis, where it runs out of food, and your body's constantly eating and using resources. And when it realizes, oh, crap, we have nothing to work with, what can we do? And then the body starts looking through itself, looking for old cells, broken cells, cancerous cells, attacks them, digests them, and use it for other things. So, I mean, it can't hurt, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, in the past year, I've lost over half my body weight. I was dang near 300 pounds. Now I'm down to like 150, 155 right now.
Yeah.
Like I'm all skin and bones. It's sad, really. I look like a Holocaust victim, But anyways, when I finally got out of the hospital, I'm still leaking, trying to keep myself patched up.
Gosh. Holy crap.
Changing my clothes 7 times a day because just so much fluid is just coming out. Right before the big freeze, I had to fill the tanks up in the vehicle so they didn't freeze over because it was getting down to negative 40-something degrees. And I'm like, whoa, that's way too cold.
Yep.
And I'm sitting there waiting to pay for the gas. And next thing you know, I got this little boy tugging on his mommy's coat, saying, getting her attention. He turns around. He's like, he peed his pants and it was like literally from my fluids leaking out. And I didn't realize it at first. And such an embarrassing mess.
It is what it is, man. And look, I'm sorry this is happening to you. I really am. But what are you trying to do going forward?
Well, they want me to do 3 months of alcohol counseling,
Do it.
which I
Yeah.
mean it's fine. It's a requirement to be on the transplant list for liver, so I have no problem doing that. I haven't
Yep.
drank anything in over a year, so I'm good.
Good. Because I mean, that's a horrible way to go, bro. And
I'm telling you, it was. I felt like I was on my deathbed first time I was in the hospital.
yep, that's not a good thing. I don't know, man. Now, I've had some run-ins with the VA. About 30-40% of them were good. The rest of them not so good. But I haven't had any like horrible experiences like this. Now, I did have to I have a neurological issue from a TBI. I get migraine headaches, and sometimes my right eye, the pupil gets real big and it becomes really super light sensitive. And I drove to the VA hospital in New York State. I believe it was the one in Syracuse. And as soon as I walk in there, they're all defensive. They think I'm in there like because I'm trying to like get pain meds, and they're just being condescending cockaholics.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
And then
That sounds like a
finally,
hockey team.
finally they see the eye. They're like, "Oh, he's not playing." And then they got a bunch of tests and crap. But they did an MRI, didn't find anything. And I told them the deal. I'm like, "Look, I got a TBI. It's in my medical records. It's really bad. And these things happen." And I was so pissed. I literally went to my work the next day when I was working. I was still in the Army. And I wrote a bunch of letters. And I got them nuked from Orbit.
Letters do that, man.
Yep. They called me and apologized. The doctor was being condescending, was being all apologetic. And I'm like, "Listen, I don't even want to talk to you. All right? If you're really sorry about this, stop being a condescending asshole when we come in there." That's all I ask. Period.
It's not much.
Yeah. I mean, granted, I know that they're doctors. They probably did 10, 12 years of school or whatever. They think they're better than everything. But, like I said, the VA doctors are C+, B- individuals. So you're getting anywhere from the 71% to the 77, 78% answer. And when it's your health, that's not a good thing.
No.
No, and
it sucks even worse when you're getting that 70 to 75% answer and you can barely understand it.
yeah, and they keep treating me for the same shit the same way. Like for the migraine headaches. I did 2 years at the Fort Drum TBI clinic, took all of their crazy meds, did everything they told me to do to try to end these headaches. I was unsuccessful. Then the VA wanted to do the exact same thing. And I'm like, "Did you look at my medical records? I've already done this. It was ineffective." "Oh, well, we're going to try it again, but tweak the dosage." Well, there's a chemical they gave me called Depakote. And it literally dimmed my vision for a week and a half.
What?
Whoa.
It is messing with your brain chemistry, fucking with my vision. I was beside myself, just terrified I was going to go blind. So the hell with that.
That's
That is
scary by
nuts.
itself.
Oh my God. It's not good at all, man.
That is messed up, dude.
Yeah. So if they tell you how long you might have to be on the transplant list?
No, they didn't. They said that's the next step, and that's all. They're not giving me any more information until I finish the next step. So God knows how many hoops I got to jump through.
No, you're gonna jump through hoops, man. You're gonna jump through hoops. That's just the way it goes.
Damn.
Now, do you have a relative that can give you a partial?
Living?
Yeah.
Not really, no.
Okay.
I was actually the only child between my mother and my father. And my father died when he was 14 years old.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah,
shit.
his wife and her brother actually murdered him and got away with it.
Oh my God.
So,
Shit.
Where do you live?
yeah. A little town called Lima, Ohio.
Oh, you're in Lima. I know where that is. Yeah.
Damn, man.
I thought that is some like red trash shit. That isn't like that isn't redneck white trash shit. Oh
That
my
sounds
god!
like a Lifetime original movie.
Holy crap!
Fuck. Wow,
There's a reason
man.
they call it Little Chicago.
I don't know, man.
I now know why you decided to just go in the military and get the fuck away from all that.
Yeah, unfortunately, this
Wow.
town just has a bad habit of dragging you back.
Yeah.
Well,
They call it the pit for a reason.
yeah. Well, all I could say is this, bro. Do everything in your power to try to self-correct. Read every article and study you can on what's happening to you. And I mean, there are some supplements you can get your hands on that you can try that may or may not help you. And send me an email to redonkulous12@gmail.com. I'll put together a list of some of the stuff I use myself. And the big ones, because, for liver is Tudka, milk thistle, vitamin D. Get rid of the sugar. Make sure you stay hydrated. Do the fast, 2 or 3 days, like once a month or twice a month. And there's no downside to it. I mean, all it could do is help you and buy you more time.
Yeah, that's one thing I don't got a lot of time on is,
I got you, bro.
I don't want to leave my wife like this or anything like that.
How old are you now?
I'm 37 now.
Oh, God, you're young, bro. You just got done
Tell me about
stinking like piss. Jesus.
I know. I was actually taking your all's advice and everything when I was dating my wife throughout the years before I even got married to her.
Good.
Yeah.
What to watch out for. And you guys educated me, and I ended up with a woman that, she can't stand none of this social justice warrior crap or PC crap.
Mm-hmm. Now, just to tell everyone out there, that was a complete accident. I have no actual experience picking good women. All right. So
But you know how to spot the bad ones.
I could spot
Yes.
the bad ones, but don't ask me for what to look for in a good one. I don't know. I'm just being honest.
One that doesn't make you crazy.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I'm sure. I mean, but you got to get along with them. All right.
Oh, yeah. And you have to know a woman who knows when it's time to leave you alone. Too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh,
You
she
need
can do a
somebody
good job
who-
at that.
Listen, after 2 years of speed bagging the baby snack sacks, it's going to get old, okay? There's
Speed
only so many
bagging?
times. It gets old after a while. At some point, you're going to be like, yeah. Can you cook a steak?
Speed backing the babies.
What? What?
Jeez.
I'm being totally honest here. I mean,
Oh, my God. It's hilarious.
once the electricity goes
side.
away, there's other things. Like, one that does the same hobbies as you, like legitimately. I mean, that is very important.
Yes.
Like, if you like to shoot guns, find a woman who likes to shoot guns.
Yeah.
If you like to
I know I've been trying to teach mine, but mine's almost like afraid to touch one. I'm like, oh, come
You're
on.
gonna have to
You're
break
need to know
her
how to
ass.
use this at some point.
Yeah.
you need to get her a double barrel, so she just has to point and pull.
Yeah. I mean,
No,
I'm
Amy.
sure back when
I-
you were feeling better, she was an expert at draining both barrels.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
Look, man, we're just trying to keep you laughing, bro. You gotta laugh, okay?
You gotta laugh. If not, you have no personality.
Exactly.
Yeah. And listen, please keep us posted on what's going on with you for us and the fans, so we can
Absolutely,
keep everyone up to date
Not
on
a
the
problem.
situation.
Yep.
I wanted to thank everybody when Blake put out the call when my wife's mother died, and we didn't have any type of help whatsoever. And Blake went ahead and went to the GoFundMe page and had a lot of the subscribers
Help you out.
donate.
I've done that for about
Yeah.
half a dozen guys in the past 3 or 4
Yeah,
years.
absolutely. Yeah, because this is about men helping men Because society sure as fuck ain't gonna
Yeah,
help
no,
us. It's
I'm
up
not
to us to
gonna-
help each other.
Oh no, that's one thing I noticed with society nowadays. You got a set of balls and a penis. Oh no, it's automatic.
Yeah, unless you're wearing a dress.
Whatever.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But
correct.
then magically somehow you become oppressed again, and you're part of the protected group, which I don't understand. But whatever.
Yeah, I don't understand how a 40-some-year-old man can dress up as a little girl and say he's only 12. I'm like, have you lost your mind, dude?
Well, they have, but that's another show.
Yeah. I will say this: it is
Oh,
hysterically
I can talk
funny.
about that too.
It is hysterically funny to watch the lamestream media that says misgendering should be a crime punishable by prison, misgendering the non-binary dude who opened fire in the gay club.
Yeah.
Well, it's like he can't possibly be non-binary, and then the transformer, the wino on CNN. Oh, I can just tell.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, the humor writes itself. Got it.
All right. Well, do me a favor and talk to an attorney because it's never going to change until you start cracking some eggs.
Absolutely. You got to actually show some backbone anymore to get anywhere nowadays. But then all of a sudden people are threatened saying, oh, you're being too masculine or you're mansplaining or some god off the wall bullshit. I'm like, come on, people.
Yep.
I'm not all about trying to do that, people. I'm just, I just want some answers. And if you're just going to be, dancing around the ring with it and not actually throw me something to, give me some answers with treatments or anything like that, I was like, well, what's the point?
Yep.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Dave, I want you to know, I just got a message from a fellow war hoarder. He says that please let Dave know that I put feelers out to the former commander of 1st Special Warfare Training Group to see about helping Dave seek private medical care so that this shit doesn't literally kill him. He's a former SOF vet, as we know, and he's got his awful horror stories with the VA of his own. So if you want to just shoot me a good email for you in our chat, Dave, I'll make sure that I forward that to this guy. We'll put you two together, all right?
Yeah. I mean, I've driven.
Hey, not a problem.
I've driven myself to the VA downtown Detroit probably 6 times in the past decade. And for the most part, I don't go during the day. If I have to go, I wait till 7, 8 o'clock or later. And normally I go in there. I'm literally in the waiting room for maybe 20 minutes, and I'm on a gurney, and they're doing tests. And, they're pretty efficient in that regard. Now, I refuse that. Like when I needed to get prostate surgery, there's no way in God's green earth am I going to let a C+ doctor cut on my junk. It's not happening.
You do be asking for trouble.
Yeah. It's not happening. Not happening.
Woo!
So I understand, man.
And you still didn't have a good experience, if
No.
I remember correctly.
No,
even
that
with,
was a bad one.
Yeah.
The second one was worse.
Oh.
Yeah, I had to walk around for 20 some odd days, 22, 24 days with a suitcase full of piss.
And the butt donut. Yeah.
Yeah, and well, the
Butt
thing
donut
Wow.
is still
is the
surviving.
catheter was in for like 20 some odd days, and I was walking through my dining room, and the hose hooked on the table, and literally it felt like somebody ripped my soul out through my dick. I was like, ah! I wilted to the ground. Ah!
Every single dude watching this just went, ah.
And I'm laying there on the floor, and my mom's like, "Are you
Oh.
okay? Are you okay?" I'm like, "My soul just got ripped out through my dick." Woo! It took like 20 minutes to recover. It was a bad time, man. A bad time.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's that episode of House where he thinks that he can beat the Vicodin side effects by cathing himself. Every time I watch that, I'm like, I can't imagine having it ripped out violently by furniture.
Yeah. Well, the thing is they ram it in there, and then there's a little.
You had to say ram, didn't you?
And
Like,
then
just
there's
make it even more visceral.
There's a part
Like a
where they
balloon.
fill up the end with like saline, so it can't come out. It's locked in.
Ugh.
God.
So when that thing got hooked, man,
Oh
it
my
was
God.
bad.
Ugh. This is bad, right?
I don't care
This is
how
bad.
big of a man you are. That's going to put you on your knees.
That's exactly what it
Yes.
did. I wilted, like literally, like.
Oh, that's horrendous.
There's no way I could have stayed on my feet. It's just not going to happen.
No.
Not happening.
Oh, holy cow! Wow. Ah.
I wouldn't expect you to either.
Ugh.
All right, man.
But with
All
that
right.
being said, did we already look at this one?
I
It looks
don't
familiar.
remember.
There we go.
Well, thanks for telling us your story, bro.
Yeah, Dave.
Hey,
Appreciate
not
it.
a problem, Pops. Blake, you guys have a good time. I always
always
enjoy
do.
your shows.
All right, man.
Yeah, and
If you
anytime,
need anything else, just let me know.
anytime you need anything, Dave, we're always here for you. We got a whole community of dudes. They're helping each other out, and that's why we're here. It's not just about the life saved on the board. That's the main goal. But seeing people from all walks of life, all over this country, all over the world, coming together, helping each other out, helping each other get through vile shit,
Yep.
bad relationships, or even just poor medical circumstances like this. Like, you guys inspire me. You
God.
really do.
Yeah. All right,
And
man.
I'm glad there's finally support out there for men too like that, because before there was nothing.
Well,
And
I'm
when
trying.
You tried, and when you tried, like, to open up a domestic violence shelter for men, you know what happens? Feminists come out of the woodwork and blame and shame the dude who opened it until he self-deletes. That's what happens when men try to help men, typically.
Yep.
But we're the privileged ones.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah, right.
I'm bringing that to an end. I mean, that is just absolute horse shit.
You're damn
Where's my white guy college foundation funding?
right. I identify as a Native American. Give me my casino.
Yeah. All right, bro. I'll talk to you later. Keep us
Hey, you too.
keep us posted.
Yeah,
all
keep
right?
us in the loop, Dave. You take care.
All right, man. Take it
All right.
easy.
You too.
Man, what a way to go, man. He's had one hell of a go for it. That's just
And listen,
Go.
like my buddy who committed suicide in 2014, kidney failure, VA did the same shit. They drugged their feet, and they took him 8 months to get the treatment he needed. And by that time, his kidneys had degraded to a very low level. I mean, he was sitting somewhere between 20 and 32% was left
Oh,
of his
damn.
kidney function. Now, if they would have treated him 8 months prior, he would have still been in the 60s, 70s. All right, and when you're in 60s, 70s, if you can find out what's causing it and stop it,
Yeah.
you still have enough kidney function to make it to your 65, 75 on out plan.
yeah, ideally, yeah.
But if you're at 21, that means when the minute you go below 10, you're pretty much a candidate for dialysis, and most people lose 1 point to kidney function a year after the age of like 30.
Oof.
So, and he went through a bad breakup. He got bad news about his kidneys. Literally pulled out a 380, walked into his bedroom, and that was it. Done deal.
Wow.
Great guy. He was a
Yeah, I
Chinook
bet.
pilot. He was a paratrooper. I knew him in his younger days as a paratrooper, and he and I did a lot of the same missions in some of the same areas of the world. And one of the reasons that they suspect his kidneys got jacked up is he was patrolling in areas that were getting sprayed with defoliant to kill the coca plants.
Damn.
And I was walking around in the same area. So
Shit.
I get tested all the time too. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, it explains your cereal bowl full of supplements, some of which I'm sure are geared toward encouraging healthy kidney function.
oh yeah,
Not to mention all the other shit that they injected you with and you were subjected to over the years. I mean, I'm sure that there's stuff that was floating around Abu Ghraib prison that
Oh, my God, yeah.
weren't just ghost children in the hallways that you were probably like absorbing through your skin, your
Well,
lungs, etc.
they actually right outside of our cell block is where they found a pretty extensive mass grave.
Yeah.
And for like 2 weeks, they're like, don't drive by that. Don't inhale any of the dust. Stay. But by that time, by that time, we'd been there for several months. So we've been like driving around, driving over it. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what I've been exposed to, man. It's bad.
This is bad, right? This is bad. But you know what else is bad? $1.7 trillion worth of money we don't have.
Correct.
And, we're not going to dive into this too deep because this is literally, what was it, a 1,400-page bill that was delivered at 1:30 in the morning the day before it had to be passed. So everybody had time to read it, of course. Well, all sources available on Redonkulous.com. This comes directly from gunowners.org, and it breaks everything down, and it's amazing how much of this targets the VA and veterans. Number one, massive 14.1% ATF budget increase to facilitate Biden's pistol ban. Fuck you, Brandon. Number two, $14.4 million for the ATF's NTC budget to maintain its illegal near billion record gun registry. Because, you know, when something is illegal, it obviously needs more funding. Number three, $700+ million in funding available to bribe states to pass red flag gun confiscation laws. Thankfully, those are being challenged in the Supreme Court.
Yeah, the Supreme Court's ripping that apart.
Well, it's because they're horse shit. You can't minority report somebody out of their Second Amendment rights. Sorry. Number four, directing VA medical centers to utilize confiscation orders on vulnerable veterans. And they said this is what they're saying. Well, you know, it's because of the suicide rate among the veterans. All of a sudden, when 1/3 of the homeless are veterans and the suicide rate for veterans dwarfs the death toll from 20 years in Iraq and Afghanistan, now you care.
Yeah, if you do the math, right now, more veterans have committed suicide that were killed in the Korean War, the Vietnam War.
Yep.
All right. In 7 years from now, it'll be World War II, Korea, Vietnam, Iraq. I mean, that is just shameful.
Yeah, well, at the time that we did Purple Heart, I want to say,
Yeah.
the death toll from 1 year of self-deletion, just 1 year of self-deletion, dwarfed the entire Iraq and Afghanistan war.
Yep.
And that was in 2010.
That was in 2010, yeah.
So by now, it's got to be, that whole war has got to be a fraction of the self-deletion.
I put out a press release for this channel when we were at like 100 or 460, 70 lives on the board.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know, the government spent billions of dollars, has an army of counselors, and they can't even put a dent in this.
Nope.
I'm literally operating on a shoestring budget, and I have 502.
Yeah. And there's only really one explanation for that. They don't care to. Why? Because a living veteran is a veteran drawing a pension.
Correct.
So they don't care whether or not you off yourself. That's why we know beyond a shadow of a doubt that all this gun control horseshit that's supposed to take guns out of the hands of vulnerable veterans that might self-delete, they don't care. They just want to take your guns.
Correct. And I've actually been to the VA a few times. So like, do you have any firearms? I'm like, I got like a rifle up north. I shoot. It's in my buddy's.
I lost them all in a tragic boating accident.
Yeah, but actually, when I was going through the divorce, I legitimately got rid of almost all of it. I mean, I had to. I mean, lawyers are expensive.
True story.
And, you know, I was homeless.
Yep. And number five, Department of Education to push safe storage of parents' firearms. So now you got like a safe within a safe within a safe, right? And then you have to have a trigger lock on it because you totally have time to do all that when somebody's breaking down your window.
Well, in Michigan, it's 3 locks. You got a lock on the gun, a locked cabinet, and then the room that the cabinet in is locked. You should be good to go.
Yeah.
But
everybody follows those regulations.
Correct. And I don't even worry about it. I don't.
It's horseshit.
All my stuff is pretty much gone anyway.
It's all control. Sorry.
Yeah.
If it's a right that shall not be infringed, I don't have to follow your stupid laws.
Correct.
Just saying. Number 6, funding for VA to maintain gun storage maps to keep tabs on where veterans keep guns.
Yeah.
Yeah, this isn't Orwellian at all.
Go eat a dick.
In fact, you can eat the whole bag. Bet you can't eat just one. No, I'm talking about your ex again. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Number 7, new annual compensation for families of deceased ATF agents could be an indication of upcoming gun confiscation. Are we shocked?
Yeah, no.
Number 8, gun control earmarks for orchid healing circles and more. Whatever the hell that means.
I have no idea.
Number 9, Dickie violations galore while the CDC suppresses self-defense statistics.
What are Dickie violations?
You want to take a look?
Yeah, what the fuck is
it? It was a Dickie. Dickie. Let's see here. $1 million for research on gun violence prevention. You know what prevents gun violence?
Guns.
More guns.
Yeah.
However, the Office of Justice Programs is not bound by the Dickey Amendment because it only applies to the CDC and NIH preventing the funds from being used in whole or in part to advocate or promote gun control. Given the necessity of including this restriction to prevent research funding from being used to undermine the constitutional rights of the people, unrestricted gun-related research must be opposed. The Siddiqui Amendment was written to stop anti-gun bureaucrats at NIH and CDC from producing biased anti-Second Amendment research to promote and advocate for gun control. Unfortunately, the gun control bill known as Fix NICS gutted the Dickey Amendment, allowing for anti-gun research. In the last year, we have even seen the CDC serve the anti-gun lobby by removing research on the prevalence of defensive use of firearms, which proved damaging to their false anti-gun narrative.
Correct. They have to do that because they can't win the argument.
Mm-hmm. Well, because, as we know, guns are used to diffuse situations without being fired or in self-defense at levels that literally you could double the gun violence, you could double the gun murders in this country every year. It would still be a fraction
Correct.
of what self-defense is. So, fuck you.
And you don't even have to shoot the gun.
No.
A lot of people just pull it out, and that's all it takes.
Yeah. Somebody walks into your house and they're not invited, and then you hear feet tumbling the other way.
They leave.
There you go.
I mean, you can hear that shit in a rock concert.
Yeah, you don't even need ammo in the gun. You just rack it and they fucking run.
Because they know what comes next.
Exactly.
Yeah, you get like, 9 to the head.
Yeah, and nobody's really going to bet that the gun isn't loaded.
No.
That's not a bet you want to lose.
Listen, I don't ever fuck around that shit, so.
No. Programs discouraging women from exercising their Second Amendment rights. So now more and more women are going to be repaid, and they're going to claim it's the patriarchy's fault, when really it's the government actively encouraging you not to defend yourself.
Correct.
Yay.
And this is insane.
Number 11, anti-gun community violence intervention initiatives. Yeah, try that in Chicago. Number 12, did you know that it's actually safer to be in Iraq and Afghanistan right now than it is to be in Chicago? Thank you for that, Jimmy Bones.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Isn't that amazing? Unless you're a woman.
This is the kind of stuff that, first of all, we all knew they were going to do this.
Yeah.
So, nothing new.
Number 12, violent anti-government ideology and domestic radicalization research. You want to look at domestic radicalization, why don't you take a look at Antifa and BLM?
Well, the thing, like if you are an individual who honors their oaths, they're literally labeling you a domestic radical.
Yep. If you believe in the Constitution as more than just a piece of paper that the Uniparty wipes its ass with, you're a radical.
Correct.
This country's fucked.
It's going to get bad.
And not in a good way.
It's going to get bad.
Not in the kind of way that you typically watch on your phones.
Nope.
When you think no one's looking. Your anti-fap flap.
Yep.
Hey, we're going to hell in a handbasket, and we're getting there quick, man.
Yeah, this is just more bullshit.
So, yeah. Move to the sticks. Homeschool your kids. Stay strapped or get clapped. Just saying.
Yep.
It's not good. Not good at all. All right, we're going to jump into the YouTube chats here. And by the way, Obseth and friends, I want to definitely reach out to Pop and send us that story about the false rapé allegation that was levied against you. We want to hear how that turned out there with the chick going to jail. King of Sharks. I'm not a vet, but I lost a job because my manager went all in on the jab. I found out in November he died of a heart attack. He was 33 and a marathon runner.
And you know what? Sue the company and sue his estate. Fuck him if he's dead.
Well, no, you shouldn't fuck them if they're dead.
Well, I don't mean like...
I mean, that's a whole new level. That's some Twilight shit right there.
No, I'm just saying. You go after his estate, go after the company.
I mean, people think of Twilight as just like stupid teeny bopper bullshit. It's necrophilia
everyone
porn,
out
man.
there who's been forced to do this needs to file a goddamn lawsuit.
You're damn right. They can't fight them all. Let's see. Just Eric. E-commerce judo. I started a Valentine's Day themed drop shipping store and ad campaign aimed at TikTok thoughts to run through February 1st. I'm donating any profits to red pill causes. Winning.
Thank you. That's another thing is like I run
beautiful.
Like this operates under Second Class Citizen, which is an actual 501c.
Yes, it is.
And I have been sending out information to like all of the big companies to try to get on their list. And they won't. I can't get anywhere.
Nope.
They don't want to help men.
Of course
They don't want to stop suicide. I mean,
they don't give a shit.
they don't give a shit.
They really don't. And now, if we were to suddenly include Transformers men, then magically we would get, but then they would watch our show and realize we were full of shit.
Yeah, and like we really haven't made any money until basically this year.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, Zipper Tits, you're not on the show. What
Sorry.
can we do? K-Note. Stay unjabbed, eat homegrown veggies and animals, leave cities, and stay strapped. All I can say, that's what me and my buddies have been doing. You know what? It's not a bad idea. And V. Fosgene. I'm a vet, and I was coerced to get the shot for work. Get the shot, and got cancer.
Yeah.
I beat the cancer, but the timing is undeniable.
Yeah.
It's happening to a lot of people, man. You're one of very, very many.
Listen, if you had to get the shot and you're worried about the cancer, take the reishi mushrooms, cordyceps mushrooms, and turkey tail mushrooms.
There you
with
go.
Vitamin D and vitamin C. Give your body the tools it needs to clear this shit out of your blood.
Damn right.
Okay? And those mushrooms will help you rebuild your immune system.
Mm-hmm. Polska Bob wants to know if Dave has a channel. To my knowledge, no. And I've been talking to the guy for a couple years now. He's a great dude. I don't think he has a channel. Be a good thing to spend his time on, though.
Who was you sent me a text about a woman who wants to be on the show?
Yes.
What's her name?
She goes by Freely Ashley, and now's as good a time to announce it as any. If you guys have been seeing the shorts that Freely Ashley has been posting on YouTube, because her channel's growing very rapidly. Like I didn't know who she was like 4 months ago, and she's up to like 87,000 subs last I checked.
Mm-hmm.
She's phenomenal. Former leftoid, now a based woman, wife, and mom. And apparently is somewhat local, lives about a few hours from here, and she's going to be joining us on the stream 2 weeks from tonight.
Okay. That'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Because, I'm going to ask her a lot of the questions to determine if she's being a chameleon or not.
I already warned her about our kind of humor. She's like, oh, yeah, I've already watched your show. It just seems like dudes being dudes. I'm like, you're absolutely right.
That's exactly what we're doing.
The Gala sisters are in the chat. They know what it's all about. And I think I lost count of how many times something you and I said made them go, Better be careful walking around with your mouth open like that. Sooner or later, somebody's going to try to throw a hot dog in there. Just saying. Not that I would know about that or anything. You know what I mean? Where's the video? Where's the video? That's just way too far down. I don't even know where it is.
You got a bunch of videos.
Oh, there it is.
There we go. And this is an old one, man. This is like over 10 years old.
I'm just gonna Photoshop the Gala sisters down at the end of the hallway, like moving heads up. Let's see, get in the hole, get in the hole. It'd be like a carnival ride. Oh shit. Shark dentures. I still wince at the memory of my post-car accident catheter being removed.
Oh my god!
Because only as it came out the tip did I realize that the nurse failed to completely deflate the balloon at the end.
Oh.
Everybody's everybody doing this right now?
Listen, when they took my catheter out,
Oh.
it had been in there for like 22, 24 days. I don't remember. All right. They pull it out, and I just started pissing.
Like uncontrollably?
Yeah, I could not control it. Literally, I grabbed the garbage can, and then the nurse is like, "Look, that happens all the time. Don't worry
I'm
about
sure
it."
it does. Yeah.
And I'm like, and then it burned for like 2 days.
Ooh.
If that's what it feels
the
like,
irritation from that has got to be insane.
yeah. I mean, if that's what it feels like to have like gonorrhea, fuck that.
Ugh.
That was a horrible experience. Don't want to do it again.
And with that mental image in your brains, I'm going to cleanse it with this one. There you go. Bart Fine. Hey, how you doing, good sir? Walt Hollingsworth must be held accountable. Who's that?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
I'm bad with names, bro.
Shoot us an email, Bart. Michael Morgan, only reason anyone wants to take guns away is because they want to do something that you would shoot them for.
Absolutely correct.
I've never heard it put better than that. Right there. That's beautiful.
That's the truth.
Todd N. Prepared. I am one of the 502. Thanks again, Pop Semper Fi. Outstanding. Original Australian. Hello from Australia. Well, thank you for coming on, man. We got to get Sydney MGTOW back on this show. You know, there's
Sure.
it's hard to do, though, because it's like a 13-hour time difference.
Yeah.
But, we'll see if we can get him back on again. He's a good dude. Evil Zombie Toe. The soldier said he was feeling self-deletive. Got sent to BHO, who sent him home with a follow-up appointment 2 days later. In the meantime, he was put back on the border after confiscating his firing pin. Literal meat shield.
Yeah. And you know what? If
Nice
you
to
have
know.
buddies that are getting stupid like that, send them my fucking videos, man.
Hell yeah.
I mean, a lot of them, if they can make them laugh just a little, I mean, it literally breaks the hold of the hopelessness.
Yes.
It does. And
Yeah.
it's just jokes.
Mm-hmm. Jokes, and if you can laugh at yourself, that's why laughter is one of the 3 L's of chill.
Yep.
Because if you can laugh, can't be that bad. And if you can learn to laugh when it really is bad, you can get through anything.
Yep. Yes, you can. And I've done it.
Yeah.
I've done
I
it.
mean, if you went from being homeless, losing your kids and everything, now you got 502 lives on that board. We got over 1,000 people who watch us 2 days a week.
Uh-huh.
And then, several thousand more who watch after, which is nice. It'd be nice if we could break through the algorithm wall, but honestly, I don't care at this point, because the community that we have built is better than having 1 million subs.
Okay.
It really is. Knowing that these guys are not just here for us, but here for each other and helping each other, it's awesome.
But I would still like to grow it to like 10,000 guys.
Yeah,
You know,
I would too.
That'd be cool.
But it's not going to happen on this platform, not on YouTube.
No, it's not.
They have made up their minds that we're on the naughty boy list.
And that's just the way it goes.
We're not getting off, figuratively or literally.
Yeah. You are correct, fine sir.
It's a bunch of shit. Well, with that being said, we will get off of YouTube right now.
Okay.
Take a quick break, take a piss, refill the menagerie, and we're going to go and we're going to read the really juicy, nasty chats. And we do have some VA horror stories that I saw were sent via email. We're going to get to those as well. And, look for the links if you're on YouTube in the chat. Follow us on over. If you missed those, Linktree is in the description. You can find everything there, including every place we post videos, and all of the live channels are noted.
All right.
All right, so we'll see you guys in 5 minutes. Because I said so. That's why. Meh.